Hello. We are live. We're recording.
Yay!
This is the most fucked up episode of all time.
Yeah,
So hopefully this works.
this has been a wild fucking ride. I think we've been trying to get set up and going for what, like
45
an
minutes
hour?
at
Yeah,
least.
yeah. I was gonna say an hour, so 45. Yeah, we're. This has been a wild one. But we're here and we're gonna talk about wrestling more. Yay!
Oh my god, are we ever? So we're gonna do a little state of wrestling like we did in our previous episodes. But I think there is only one way that we can start this episode. I think we have to acknowledge our tribal chief. Put all your ones in the air. Just so we get that good juju.
Oh hell yeah, dude! All the way,
Oh my fucking lord,
dude. Yeah, it's been so interesting to see the way shit's gone down since WrestleMania with the injuries. Like I know that's a whole deal, and that's where my head went first. But like the injuries have been insane, you know. And we had a title drop, which that's crazy. Like a drop for an injury, those don't happen that often, and it kind of broke up a reign. So they must really expect her to be gone for a while. But yeah, it's been a wild like coming out of WrestleMania. It's been pretty wild. I think they've kept the momentum pretty well. I think Cody's keeping up momentum. Like everything's on the fucking flow. On the fucking flow.
You're really happy about it.
I am, and I sent
Good.
you the that lawyer, the attorney, talking about the Vince McMahon case and like what their statement was, right? Like, did you watch that?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So like,
I said that she's going to wind up dead after talking about all that. That's the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah. The attorney, because like it like it's dude, it's wild. Like that case is actually, like, I thought it was, we threw around some buzzwords and stuff like accusations, but now it's like it's actually quite interesting. We're not gonna cover details, but yeah. But yeah, dude, tribal chief, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Wow. So there's actually a lot of news today. I'm seeing.
I only have one tribal chief.
Yeah. Tetsuya Naito.
Awesome. Always goes down as my number one of all time.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen stuff lately, but they've lost all their stars, and that's kind of turning into a clown show over there too.
Yeah, I would assume so. I haven't actually heard, so I'm interested in what's going on, but I would assume it is. I mean, they have to be down to nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I would think it's probably just Naito. They got Moxley in. He won the butterfly belt. He looks like the IWGP Divas champion now. There's some news came out today about AEW. They lost the pay-per-view provider. DAZN dropped their
contract.
Agreement.
Yeah,
they had a 3-year deal, and DAZN. Today was the last day that they could opt out. DAZN won't be carrying their pay-per-views anymore.
So they opted out. So they opted out early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
At the end of 1 year, they lost the provider overseas that carries their normal weekly show. So people are speculating this might be the last year. I can see it.
Well, okay. So before we get into the shows, and I know you're gonna dive into it, and I'm fucking here for it. That makes sense, because it feels like Tony Khan has been throwing Hail Marys. He's been saying shit like out public like that he's gonna get lawsuits for. Like, because they're coming so hard after him. And then when he showed up at the draft with the neck collar on, dude, and
that's probably the best thing that he has done, if you really think about it.
And I was watching McAfee's coverage, okay, and of the draft, and McAfee, you know, he had to make a comment, but he doesn't want to talk about them, you know, like because that's not like they're out there with WWE and Vince McMahon in their mouth. You don't need to be giving them that energy back, in my opinion. Pat McAfee representing WWE as much as he doesn't need to be addressing AEW. But it was funny. I can't remember what he called the bomb. He called it something, not a power bomb. He called it something else. But yeah, I wish I would
talk about the move. He hit him with the Bucks hit him with a Meltzer driver.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. The Meltzer. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, but that's what got me into that mode, because I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like the dude who's out there basically, like, he has to be paid. Like at this point, like he's just a mouthpiece for them, which is sad, because for a while, like for a long while, he was about as legit as it got. And we come from an era where reading the magazines was one of the only ways you really knew what was going on, like in big time overall professional wrestling, because you couldn't watch everything. It just didn't, it was house shows. House shows mattered. You needed to get tapes. You needed to read the magazines if you were going to be an informed fan. But obviously, like everything else in this world, that's a dead media, and desperate people do desperate things.
So, well, back in the 80s and the 70s, wrestling was huge. On television, you would see enhancement matches just to get people over, and then they would do promos, local promos, to cut you into what was happening at your local venue, and that's how they sold tickets and got you in the building. Then probably 93 Raw started, and they started with, they'd have a little bit of enhancement matches, but then they would give more away on a show than normal. And then you had the Attitude Era, which was main events on every show because they were in competition with WCW. But I mean, you're talking like, if you look at like numbers from like Memphis in the 70s, they blew like the Attitude Era out of the water. Yeah. And that was just like local TV on a Saturday morning. And they would, you can listen to Cornette's podcast and he'll describe everything of how it was, how they did it with bicycling tapes and stuff like that. But now wrestling has changed, and you kind of build up to that pay-per-view with your television. That's how you pump the TV, and you get to get the buy rates. AEW is kind of hot-shotting where they're giving these dream matches on their TV to spike their ratings. The biggest ratings thing that they did recently was show the fight with Punk and Jack Perry at All In. We'll discuss what that did for ratings here in a little bit, but they're in their contract year for the media rights deal. So they need to get ratings to stay on TV and to have a product. They do not run house shows. They did, and you were getting 1,500 to 3,000 people at these house shows.
Like TNA back in the day.
Yeah, and the TNA, the shows were fun, man.
Oh, I went to a couple TNA shows and I had a fucking blast. And like you had opportunities to meet they gave you opportunities to meet the guy, go backstage and meet people, meet the talent, get autographs and stuff, and they put on fun matches, and but that's about what they were doing at that point.
And AEW, they have a lot of like younger talent that's never been on TV, so they would benefit from house shows with getting those reps in. And that's why the TV product is so bad, because these people don't know how to work on TV. So it's really like a house of cards that has really started to crumble over the last year and a half. and
They
we'll
should have
talk
just
about.
stayed in Japan. Like I
Yeah.
feel like they could have made a better deal just working with New Japan Pro, and like I mean, obviously that's not we fucking Cody has things to do with, there's all these things, like it was business, it was this, it was that, but I just feel like for the health of something other than WWE, if they would have stayed in Japan, maybe we wouldn't be talking about this. They did their own thing, and we're talking about both organizations floundering right now. You know what I'm saying? And not that if they had stayed together, they'd be better, but maybe a couple of bookers stick around or anything like that. I don't know. It just feels like
It feels
greed
like it
can
feels
play a
like
part.
I think Tony's new play is like kind of trying to do what Vince did when Vince was going national. He's trying to poach
Mm-hmm.
talent from New Japan, and New Japan's kind of stumbling. He's stumbling, and you
And
can kind of see that.
talent poaching just isn't. You can't do it anymore because WWE has such a they have a pipeline now. You
Mhm.
know that they have their version of college football, right?
Mhm.
Like, or minor league baseball. Like, they have the depth of trainers and facilities and programs that they basically snatch everybody.
Mhm.
And yeah, they might churn through guys, and guys need to go other places to learn stuff outside of the system, and that should always have a place. But if you don't have another healthy system for them to go learn something different, then you have a problem. And
Right.
it's like you're going to get to a point where if you're not in the WWE, if you don't make it to NXT, you're never seeing professional wrestling TV. Like,
Mhm.
and that sucks. I don't want to live in that world, but I also don't want to live in the world where the Bucks are running everything because they're trash and they suck.
Absolute,
Period.
absolute trash, and that's another problem with AEW from the start. Is he went into business with Cody, the Young
Mm-hmm.
Bucks, and Kenny Omega. So they did their best to get all their friends hired. The Young Bucks got all the people from PWG. They got that bald referee. Uh, Omega got all the young Japanese girls, and
Mm-hmm.
Cody got like QT Marshall and some other people like that. And they started their developmental system with QT being the big head trainer. Their prize student would be Jade Cargill, and she
Yeah.
just left, went to WWE, and she's not ready for a match.
Not
So
even, not even close, dude.
in AEW, she was like 55-0, and then dropped her title and left. Like
Yeah, yeah, and she was exposed at WrestleMania.
she was, and
Exposed.
now they're putting her in tag team 6-man type matches so that they can make her shine while she's working
Getting
out at
some work.
NXT and learning.
Yeah, getting
So
some
it
work.
just goes to show you how flawed their system is, and that's why their product is kind of failing right now.
Well, people that aren't developmental people shouldn't be in charge of development.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's like, it sounds stupid and it sounds obvious, but that's the problem when you're a smaller business and you're trying to do what the big boys do. Like, WWE has always had developmental, but they used to farm it out. They'd
Right.
contract certain, people, they'd have scouts that worked for other organizations or whatever, but they, like, now it's their system, and
Mm-hmm.
that took decades. You don't just open a new organization and say, we know how to develop, unless you have a very good group of people that have been proven to develop. And there aren't many of those that don't work for WWE. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
just, it's a small pond, or a small population. There you go.
So basically, in the early 2000s, late 90s, WWE contracted OVW, which was run by Danny Davis. And at the time,
dude, OVW was hot.
We're going to get controversial. Jim Cornette was their lead writer and booker. Oh, my God. They also had Deep South down in Georgia.
Dude, OVW was landed with some of the hottest talent. I mean, they had what, four Hall of Famers there at one time, like that were John Cena, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar,
Batista.
And Shelton Benjamin was there too, but I don't. Yeah. I mean, he's not. I always loved Shelton. Dude, I think Shelton Benjamin is one of those dudes who got the Vince treatment 100%. Like, he only got there because Brock wanted him. Like, they wrestled together. There's a whole thing with that. And he just never got a shot. And every time he had a chance, that dude performed.
Awesome.
Like, he was an amazing athlete. He got the Vince treatment.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, OVW was hot. Like, hot.
And they were drawing 10,000 people at Six Flags for shows.
That is fucking cool. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. They, at that time, that was their developmental until they figured out they could do it on their own and started NXT and Florida Championship Wrestling. But has anybody heard what NXT or AEW is doing? They're just buying people that get fired from other companies, and it's failing.
They're paying them quite a lot too.
Yeah, so
like quite a lot.
What I've seen online and heard, you paid about $12 million a year for Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, and Mercedes Moné. So when I look through the ratings, I'm looking at their weekly, what happens when their segment is coming on and everything else, and they're not getting that return on that investment. Sad to say. So it's really crazy.
Okay. I mean, you pay for a name, right? At the time, Omega, I mean, because of the way Japan was at that time, and Okada too. This goes for both of them because they were locked in a
trilogy.
What 3-year feud it was? It's by the end of it or something like that, like a year and a half. Like it was. I was trying to be hyperbolic with the 3 years, but then I realized it's actually probably somewhere in the 2 to 3 year range. But but again, to go back to Dave, they were all 5-star matches, and they were the top two. They were the top 2 wrestlers of the year for 2 straight years, and for a lot of people, they didn't get to watch. Like, they didn't know anything about the feud. They maybe, like, I know New Japan was on DirecTV for a while. Yeah. So, like, you would get to watch, shows if you wanted, and you could get the pay-per-views and stuff. And they put on great matches, like, no shit, amazing matches, not taking anything away from that at all. But you didn't necessarily get a tone of what the whole show was, of what Kenny Omega really was. You just saw a great match that everyone hyped up a lot. And it wasn't, I can sit down and watch this feud for 4 hours a week for 3 weeks before a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to digest large amounts of it. You just got to see the payoff matches. So it was always that high. But if you have to do 2 TV shows a week, and you need these guys to perform and do the normal TV show in and out stuff, not just put on the 5-star, 6.5-star match, like, you have to be able to do the other stuff, but you're paying them for someone that's always performing up here, that's always in a main event match, always, and it's a terrible expectation for these dudes to go in with when you're the headliner, you're the star, but we don't have very much behind you. So you literally have to do everything.
Right.
Like,
and you
it's
also
just
have
not
to
realistic.
throw into that, like, what they did has taken a toll on their bodies. Like,
Oh, how of course.
Kenny is not the same guy that he was in 18? Is that 2018?
I was gonna say it's been a fucking while now, dude.
Yeah.
God damn, those were good times though. I mean, I don't like just talking about, Bullet Club was hot. Like everybody fucking loved them. Like, and I know that they carried steam, and that's kind of why I hate this whole fucking thing, because we haven't even gotten into it yet. Like, we haven't even started the shit rolling down the hill yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of sucks. But at the same time, there's nobody left. And I never liked the Bucks. I never enjoyed watching them. I think I said the last show, the JR quote that just fucking sticks with me, which is that, I want to buy them at what they're worth and sell them for what they think they're worth. Be really rich, and that stuck with me. And that was back in Japan. Like, that was when they were actually
opening
semi-young.
They were the opening match.
100%. And I've never gotten a better opinion of them. I don't want to skip ahead, but the shit that they did with that video to try and act like that was entertainment and the way they did it is so embarrassing. And if I were involved in that organization, I would be like, as a professional, I would be doing as much to distance myself from them as possible, because it was legitimately embarrassing.
And I think that's what's actually happening. A lot of these people, it's like a rally call for AEW right now, but you're putting someone who's across the street in the other federation over instead of your own people. It's just mind-numbing.
Yeah. Oh, and that dude's so over. I mean, how could you think that was a reasonable thing to do? Like, are you trying to get a rub? Like, were you trying to get a rub? Because that's literally the only thing I can think of, is that you're attempting to get a rub. Because if you watched any wrestling, the 2 weekends or whatever, the weekend before they did that whole fucking stunt, that dude had his name chanted 5,000 fucking times by every single human being in that place. And you're going to, like, it makes no sense.
And then the people chanted his name in their building.
Oh yeah. They did. Hasn't been there in 8 months.
It's just so fucking dumb.
Yeah, you want him to move on, but.
And then, like, I guess the whole goal was to give a little bump to Jack Perry, who got choked. And then you see that they're in the match, and of course that he's going to interfere, because that's the story that you're telling us. So it's so predictable and dumb at the same time.
Dude, oh my God. The promo that they attempted to cut, like, edging everybody for the video, like, embarrassing. I don't know these guys. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not there. Whatever. I'll take my L if you want to make fun of me for being some weird old guy that talks about wrestling to 5 people on the internet. I don't give a fuck. That doesn't hurt my feelings. Fact of the matter is, you're a professional and you look like an idiot. Fucking Absolutely. Both of you. You look like fucking morons. And you're supposed to be the leader of this company. You've built yourself up as the leader of the clubhouse, of the tribal chief. You're trying to be that. You're the leaders. You're in charge. Well, you fucking fucked up, and your whole business is probably
why they are in charge. They're in charge because they hired all their friends who are going to tell them that they're great,
and then they're going to fucking leave. They're going to bail. They're not going to have anybody fucking left.
It's just a fucking disaster. Like, it is so as the kids say, cringe at this moment, because
a little bit.
With them, they have not adjusted their style. They still think it's 2014 when it was hip and cool. And it's just so stupid now.
It'd be like if fucking Matt and Jeff Hardy were trying to fucking run TNA back in the day. Like 100%. It is like Matt and Jeff Hardy thinking that they were capable of running TNA. It is very little difference other than I don't know if either one of them have drug problems. And we all know that Jeff had fucking drug problems. But other than that, like that's what it feels like. Two guys who are still running and well done, entertaining sometimes, and you have your hardcore fans that are just like, we fucking love you because you've given us great memories and you were awesome once. But
and that's
you're dragging them all down with you.
If you go on social media, those people are the loudest. And if you say anything about them, they're going to stand for their people, all 12 of them, but they're just going to just constantly be on there. It's fucking embarrassing. The people on the internet, you're embarrassing too.
Yeah, people on the internet. Not us though. We're cool.
No. Yeah, we're cool.
No, probably a little cringe. I got a little heated in that little segment there. I didn't mean to. You guys are great. I hope we can become friends soon.
Yeah, let's all go to Waffle House and have some grits and waffles. Yay.
Yeah.
But all right.
Okay, what are we ready for some ratings now that we've taken the bat to them overall? Let's see what the show's doing.
But you have to, because they need to fucking wake up. So with the help of Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics, I got the ratings. I went back 5 weeks. So I'm going to start 327. Now, mind you, when CM Punk was there, that the show was doing just under 1 million. Just barely. It was like 910, something like that. 950, 910. They also, MJF is out, and he's probably going to be out for probably a year. They just revealed
he's going to be until he fucking signs with WWE.
Right.
MJ, I was gonna ask you, and we got like off on the other thing, and then we jumped into the fucking the show notes. But that was gonna be something I said is like how long before MJF is showing up at fucking next Royal Rumble or some shit. Like I mean it's like he's coming too, and honestly he's probably the best like talent overall that they have at this point. So
he fits WWE style too because of the promos. So it's a match made in heaven.
And he is like 5 live Raws or something like that, SmackDown or whatever he's on, from having the crowd absolutely eating out of his fucking hand, some chant, something. He knows how to work, and when he gets the fucking wand to work that many people, he's gonna destroy. MJF is gonna be awesome.
And he's smart enough that he doesn't do the dumb shit that's going to injure him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you get the message I sent you late last night? Darby Allin got hit by a city bus in New York yesterday.
No. Who got hit by a city bus?
Darby Allin, the guy that was Sting's tag team partner. the Daredevil guy that throws his body. The one that went through the glass.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Dude, what the fuck?
So he's going to be out for a while. He was supposed to climb Mount Everest anyway, but instead he got hit by a bus. Jesus Christ. Like,
you're absolutely right. That is proof that God exists right there.
They can't catch a break. So in the last, 8 months, they went from about 1 million a week, and now they are 747 on 327. The biggest loss of that show, segment wise, segments are 15-minute increment, quarter hours, was Will Ospreay. He lost 170 or 137,000 viewers throughout the show on his segment. Okada's segment came in. He lost 92,000 viewers.
Oh.
Orange Cassidy, their other guy that dresses Tony Khan dresses up as him for Halloween because he thinks it's cute. The guy with the fake kicks. His segment lost 100,000 viewers.
I thought for a while they were going to make him something, but I think you can only do comedy for
like
so long. Right?
5'7", so how could you make him a world champion? You know, like it's embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
The Great Bucks, their segment actually gained 50,000. I forget what they did, but
they kicked people.
I don't remember if you were watching Ring of Honor at the time, like Carino was doing commentary and the Bucks were hot main event. So there was one match.
Not regularly, at least.
It was a main event. It was a pay-per-view. Carino had the super kick counter installed in the corner of the TV. So during that match, there was actually 0 super kicks. But after the match, there was like 137. It was like Adam Cole joined whatever, if it was Bullet Club or whatever. At that time. It was just so stupid and hilarious at the same time.
I fucking legitimately miss Bebe.
Yeah, so does AEW because they don't know what to do with him. And now he is.
I miss him. He oh my god, I love that guy. And I loved what they did in NXT. They were
Undisputed
fucking
Era.
amazing.
We can talk about that too because they're all there now except for Bobby. But O'Reilly and Roddy, Adam, they're just guys.
Dude, what the fuck? Like they were amazing.
Right.
They were fucking energy, just nonstop. Just oh god. And Adam Cole, talk about a dude who knew how to work a crowd. That guy was fucking awesome. But he's small.
He's small, so he fits with them because they're all small.
Yeah, they are. But it's fair.
In the same time, these small guys keep getting hurt. Like O'Reilly just came back from a broken neck. Roddy, he was out for 18 months or something like that.
Jesus.
Roddy was hurt for a while. Adam's been hurt the whole time he's been there. Like they can't get out of their own way because they do dumb shit and it fails. So
I mean, there isn't that kind of like what sucks about it. It's a double-edged sword of the size game, right? Like, and I know this sucks, but it's just kind of an expectation reality. Like, they're going to be expected to be higher paced matches with more. I don't want to say like high risk, but like energetic movements, right? So shit that requires more of a spring or a flip or you know, doing shit off the middle of the ropes and things that look more acrobatic because you're supposed to be like, you can't go in and have a match that 2 7-footers are going to have is what I'm trying to say. Like,
right. You so can't be Andre.
Right. So there comes that expectation with that. And then all these dudes to try and get on TV or try and be the best guy are going to try and, you know, do the biggest thing. And their bodies are more likely to get busted because they're just like smaller. I mean, that's just how,
right.
You know, like, so like, I don't know, man. It's like unavoidable. If that's going to be your model, it feels super unavoidable to not be chasing the injury bug with smaller, more acrobatic wrestling matches. They're just more likely to fucking get hurt. Yeah. And when you have people that suck and can't be where they're supposed to be and protect you,
you get hurt first. Yeah. I think that's a good point that you bring up. Yeah, like these guys are just not trained and they're not strong enough to withstand these these crazy these crazy bump instances. So injuries happen.
I like that. I know you said bump instances, but I'm definitely going to start using the word bumpins.
Bumpins.
They're bumpins. They're bumpins. All
So,
right, give me some ratings.
Yeah. Well, with these ratings, also, Big Bang Theory is on before Dynamite, their flagship show on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
So, and that draws like 1 million. So every week they start at 1 million, and then it just goes down as the show goes on.
Right.
And we're going to see some drastic changes. So 4-3, this is WrestleMania week. WrestleMania was the 6th and 7th or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Wednesday of that week. So you're like, oh man, everybody's going to watch wrestling because it's the biggest week of the year. And their show did a total of 752. So it's up 5,000 from the week before. In 1/4 hour, they lost 170,000. The first quarter hour.
Okay.
So
that's pretty quick.
You're going going from 1 million down to 830 in 15 minutes. And surprise, surprise, that was Will Ospreay, the greatest wrestler on God's green planet.
Well, I mean, people that watch Big Bang Theory might not want to watch wrestling.
About 170,000 of them.
Like immediately.
But this is the golden boy that Meltzer, proclaimed the greatest of all time right now, and people don't want it.
No.
The other Meltzer guy, Chris Jericho, was on this show. The biggest star at the beginning, like an actual star that they had. I would say Jericho, probably Moxley because he'd just come off being in the Shield, and Cody were the big three, and Omega at the start of AEW.
At the start of AEW, yeah. I wonder. I've always wondered how much Jericho had to do with all that shit, like because he showed up in Japan like right as WWE was buying up, Prince and who else did it? Prince wasn't
AKA Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor. He wasn't the only one they grabbed though.
AJ.
Who else did they grab at that time? Yeah, AJ. Yeah. And then Jericho shows and it was like got weird. Like he went against the fucking great one though, and they put on some fucking bloody fucking weird matches, dude. Like absolute weird matches.
Yeah.
And
looking like a kink video.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. But I loved it because Jericho had just come out of PG era WWE where he was just kind of a mouth. He had some good runs or whatever, like did some good work. The shit he did with fucking HBK there towards the end. Oh my god.
Well, he would have been in there with his last run was the List of Jericho with
the List of Jericho. Oh my god, dude. That was fucking amazing. Obviously, it was always gonna like fizz and fade out, like shit like that does. But he had come off of that, and then like he shows up there, and all of a sudden he's in like we're gonna go fight in the fucking stands. We're gonna fight out here on the commentary tables and do all this shit and get bloody and do crazy matches. And I loved it. I fucking loved it. But he was old then.
Right.
Like he was old then. Like his, and now like he toured for so many years with that band that I don't listen to at all, even though I'm a huge metal fan and have been my whole life. I just never liked it. Whatever. No disrespect, Matt. Do you? But like that takes years off your fucking life too. And it's like, when does he step back? When does he not like, I mean, maybe not be the Triple H of, that whole situation. I don't want to say AEW, but just, his group. Oh, I'm boring you.
No.
Hey, speaking of Triple H, I got it. This is a total fucking aside, but my son did a presentation in one of his high school classes the other day where he had to do a slideshow, and the last slide of it was giving thanks to Paul Levesque. Like it said, like, thank you to Paul Levesque at the end of his slideshow presentation that he did, because he's just like, any chance I can to publicly thank Paul Levesque, I need to thank Paul Levesque. I was like,
wow, that's pretty cool.
Oh, dude, we're all on board with that fucking meme, dude. After we came out of WrestleMania, just everyone just being like, like we've been doing it. Anytime we're like, thank you, Paul Levesque.
Could you do that a couple more times? I'm getting bricked up over here.
No. Because somebody's gonna the one person that happens to fucking get to this point in the video will clip it. Anyway, continue.
So with Jericho, so for like the last 3 years, he has attached himself with the hottest figure at the time in AEW. It was MJF, and they did all the singing crap. Mm-hmm. Then they did the Mimosa match with Orange Cassidy. And now these ratings reflect he's tagging with Hook, Taz's son. And they had probably the world's shittiest match at the recent pay-per-view. That actually,
your quick reactions that you do on YouTube, like your instant rating thing. Mm-hmm. I could just see in your face how bored and angry at the same time you really were. Like it came through like very well that you were like, what the fuck?
I actually was watching the show for free and turned it off at that time because it's just so disturbing and sad what he has become. It's just bad. So the week of WrestleMania, Jericho drops 13 people. The Young Bucks come out, and they are in a segment with Orange Cassidy and Mercedes. Guess what that segment did, Seth?
Oh, I hope it went up 70,000.
Oh, no, it lost 83,000.
Holy shit. Okay, wait. Mercedes, Sasha, she should not be losing viewers at this point. They just
Russell. She's terrible on the mic. I think that's the problem.
They just brought her out. Like she should.
She hasn't been there a month yet,
dude. Like it only goes down from here, guys. It only goes down from here. Yeah. Like this is when she's the hottest she's gonna be, unless something crazy happens. Which, I mean, what's that gonna be? You know.
The only thing it would probably be would be her getting nude.
Yeah, right. And like even that
or something.
Even that, it'd be like if it was a 15-minute segment, you know, after those 15 minutes, you'd lose 70% of the fucking viewers.
Right. It's just bad. So we've covered everything. That show started up high and tailed off. The next week, the post WrestleMania week, this show had a ton of buzz because during WrestleMania night 1, they had their Collision show on, and it was about 1 a.m., but they dropped we're going to show the footage. The buzz was up for the All-In stuff, right?
Yeah, we've already covered it too. I'm telling myself this out loud, by the way, just so I don't get into railing on this shit again. So,
okay. So that show that show's total viewership 819K because they wanted to see CM Punk on their television. So I believe it was the 8:45 quarter hour.
Okay.
That segment hit. And it gained 23,000. Guess what happened the segment after that? 130,000 people turned it off.
So you had that many. There. So you had that many people that were only watching for that, and then you had a bunch of people that bumped in and fucking said, "Hey, I know they're going to be doing this segment. I want to see it." Mm-hmm. and then instantly, well, probably during the segment,
23,000 people turned it on for that segment. When they advertised it, said this is next. 23,000 people turned it on.
And then you had that many people that probably watch it every week and probably would have sat through the rest of the show if they weren't so pissed off with that segment and said, fuck this, I'm done, and turned it off.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they were actually back for the last segment as well, where they jumped FTR with Okada. That segment lost 2,000 because everybody else had already turned it off. Jericho was on like 9:15. He lost 55,000 viewers. So these are your highest paid guys, and everybody's losing viewers every week.
From start to finish, what was the fucking loss?
It was 819 down to 589.
What comes on after?
It depends.
Okay.
It's just it's not like because sometimes they overrun.
Okay.
But
like what
they fill probably movies.
But what is the rate like? Yeah, but like where do people come back to the channel after this shit is off?
No.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't think so because it's like it's TNT, right?
Yeah, TNT.
Like so it's probably, kind of an old cable crowd.
Yeah, and it's probably like you can 10 o'clock on Wednesday, so maybe like a older 5-year-old movie. Like maybe they show the Avengers like Infinite War or something like that after Age of Ultron.
Commando.
I'd tune in for Commando.
There you go. Fucking A, dude. Fuck that. I don't do that shit. I stopped. That's when TV died for me, to be honest, was when I was like, you know what? It's just so much easier to fucking watch this like streaming or something like where it's not going to be edited.
Right.
You know, like, and actually that's what's killing me with apps is now they're adding in commercials and shit. And it's like,
they want you to pay more for everything.
I'm like, you ain't getting me with this shit. This is why I stopped watching movies on TV. Like, I don't want this shit.
So remember you said that because when we go to WWF with their upcoming situation, I want to bring up a question to you.
Okay.
About streaming services.
Okay.
But so we have the world's biggest push for that show. Mm-hmm. So next week, Dynamite goes back to normal, 762,000. Mm-hmm. The biggest loss was 140K. And
one 15-minute segment?
Yeah, and guess who it was?
Please say it was the Bucks.
It was the Bucks.
Yes!
Jericho's segment actually gained 4,000 people.
Ooh.
Orange's segment gained 18,000 people.
Ooh.
Mercedes. This would be week 5 of Mercedes. She lost 50,000 people.
Oh, that's so many.
And Will Ospreay gained 35,000 that week. So, as you can see, it's a roller coaster by segment.
Yeah.
Typically, they put the woman at like 9:15 to 9:30 in that segment. You know, previously in like the last 6 months, that was always the segment. But now it's the Bucks, it's Jericho. Nobody wants to see them, but they keep trotting them out there every week.
I mean, are they actually even talking about anything interesting? Because I'm not watching this shit. No offense. I mean, I'm watching from the background. I'm not sitting in front of my TV at night when it's on, like with any. But I'm watching clips and shit like that. But I mean, like, I don't care about their. Like, are they doing promos? Like, are they getting any heat? Is there anything going on, or is it literally just CM Punk and drama and like
it's drama? I mean, it's bad drama.
Ugh,
so this
gross, dude.
This week they were back at their home area, that amphitheater in Jacksonville. They shut down the top 2 decks, ticket sales, and they had about 2,400 people there. This is their home arena. Nobody cares. It's that bad. This week's show, I believe the 17th is coming off of the pay-per-view, which was Danielson and Ospreay. I may be a week off or something, but there's just no interest.
You're perfect.
This week's show, 683,000 was the average. So now you've lost 80,000 over your last month. How does that happen?
So that's post CM Punk garbage and post pay-per-view.
Post pay-per-view, 683. So they lost,
and it's possibly what looks like their last pay-per-view.
They already have everything. They'll always have Wembley. Just remember that. That's coming up in August.
Okay.
I really think that the end of the year is going to be it. The last show is called At World's End. It's close to New Year's Eve, but it really has 2000 ECW feels right now.
Except the quality. Actually, I don't know. ECW was at the end of its fucking. They didn't really have anything left.
Chili Willy was in the main event at the end. So 683,000. The biggest quarter hour loss was 200,000.
Jesus Christ! In 15 fucking minutes.
And that was the Young Bucks and Orange Cassidy.
Now you understand that says, I know you understand, but okay, whatever. Anyway, that screams, we hate this shit.
Right.
Like it screams it. Like when you have that percentage of your overall viewers, that is so many. There's so many. It's such a high percentage.
It's 25% of your audience.
They are literally telling you, no, not watching that.
But
no,
again, they were on TV all 5 weeks at this breakdown.
Ugh.
Mercedes was on this week. Her segment lost 15,000 viewers.
How can they not be on TV though? Right? Like at this point, how can they not be?
Because
like
they
what
have
else?
No one else.
Yeah,
no one else.
Like
that's
what?
The problem.
What are they gonna fucking do?
Will Ospreay was on. He was the opening match.
Dude,
he lost 52,000.
Mike, the longer we go, I gotta tell you, I'm starting to feel like we're kicking a dead fucking horse. Like now, I'm actually starting to feel bad. Like not like, dude, you're fucking up. You could fix this. Like we're gonna tough love this shit to give you guys a chance. We'll be here for when you turn it around. Like this is kind of just like kicking a dead fucking horse. They're done.
This is the flagship show. You got to wait until we get to Collision and Rampage, because that's where the dead horse is.
Holy fuck.
So the last segment this week was magnificent Mr. Electricity, Tony Khan in the ring. The Young Bucks came out. Jack Perry came out, punched Tony, the Meltzer driver. It actually gained 50,000 viewers. So they're going to go on that and say, look at what we did, even though we lost 200,000 at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. but it's Tony.
It's Tony.
Right. And then he shows up at the draft selling it, and then goes on some podcasts and talks some mad shit.
He referred to WWE as Epstein Island. So that's where we're going. We're going.
He said there. McMahon was the Epstein of like wrestling or some shit like that, right? Like it's just like
that was on the draft. That was on the NFL Network.
Oh wow! I saw the clip. I didn't know when it was that it happened. That's crazy.
It's fucking
like that.
infinity.
Like it's crazy because first of all, like look. We said it already. Vince is going through Vince stuff right now. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be, because I believe that he should. He probably has earned every bit of humiliation and shame he's going to have to go through at the end of his life here. Like, let's just be real. He's a billionaire who's done billionaire shit. All right. But like you can't just go on TV saying that shit to boost your businesses, like
It doesn't.
Because yeah, and then but that's just the first layer. Like that's not even the shit that gets me about it. It's that you're invoking something that if you have any awareness about where culture is right now in the American population, like that's not something people are fucking joking about. Like that's something that people are like there are a lot of people in this country that are very serious about those names still coming out, and that thing is not dead. Like it is not,
No,
So
this is just the beginning of that onion.
Oh, 100%. And so it was just icky. And that's how your business is right now. That's the state of your business right now. So it doesn't surprise me that would be the way they will go forward. Tony will be the main event.
Yeah, he's trying to be Vince in 1998.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing for him to gain from it other than I mean, obviously we haven't talked about the other thing that happened recently yet with the other con. Selling
234,000 shares.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's just out now because he was just there to broker the deal.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's a real possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's kind of that dude, right? Like
he gets
to set up the recovery and cash out when he wants. Like that, makes sense.
That's how I took it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's still very interesting because I mean, he had a lot.
Yeah. So let's head it over and discuss the Friday night and Saturday night shows that these clowns are on. So the Saturday show was the CM Punk show. That's why they got that time slot. Because they had to separate the Bucks and CM Punk. That was doing around 800,000 views
wow.
per episode. 800, and then like it would go down to about 650. But that was the CM Punk show.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Punk is gone. Rampage is the Friday show, which has always been just the shits.
Mm-hmm.
329, 340,000 average viewers. 4-5, which is WrestleMania, that would be SmackDown in a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Okay.
267,000 views. The following week, 4/12, 295,000 views. And this current week, which would be the 19th, 397,000. So now we go to Saturday. Punk's show, 458,000 views on 330. 4/6. This is the craziest shit I have ever seen in 25 years of wrestling ratings being talked about.
Okay.
4/6. They started off at 1.08 million viewers and ended the show at 234,000 viewers. So how do you actually sign them and re-up their media rights if you are Warner Brothers?
Oh, there's no fucking way. Like nobody wants to watch you assholes.
No, like they would be better with just syndicated television.
Yeah.
Big Bang, Seinfeld, something like that. And it would probably come cheaper.
Yeah.
They did a double episode on 4/13. They had Collision followed by Battle of the Belts. Collision did 467,000. Battle of the Belts did 422,000. So that would be kind of like their Clash of the Champions, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
this past week, Collision did 461,000. They started off 467 and immediately first segment dropped to 356,000. So I'm guessing maybe NBA game, probably the fall off, and then those people change the channel right away. It's a dead horse, like you said.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm sure that they feel like they're doing everything they can, everything they're capable of. Again, I don't know any of these people personally. I'm sure some of them are good people. I'm sure some of them are fucking cocks, but their jobs and that's what they're doing. It sucks to see it failing, but it is failing or has already failed. And we're just waiting for the doors to close. Yeah.
So on the other side, we have WWE. We have Raw and SmackDown. And then Tuesday night, we have the developmental show, NXT. So NXT on Tuesday nights, 326, did 601,000 average viewers. It started off at 647, ended at 550. So those people kind of stay throughout the show. WrestleMania week, 641,000. Following week, post-WrestleMania, 647,000. Started off at 703, dropped to 70,000 throughout the show. Is that a 2-hour show or 1-hour show?
What's that?
NXT.
I got lost. NXT's 2, right?
Okay. So they're holding for 2 hours their viewership. 416, they did 625,000. Started off 585 and went up throughout the show to 642,000. So they must be doing something right if you're gaining.
I'd say so. Yeah. And holding it, like you're
holding
just
it. Yeah.
Piling it up. That's good shit.
Last week they had it was called Spring Break. The main event was Trick Williams against Ilya Dragunov. Trick won the title. He did a title change. 661,000 average viewers. Started off at 572, ended at 741 for the main event. So they're putting up dynamite numbers on developmental.
Dude, that is amazing. Yeah, those are great. Those are fucking great. And yeah, you have people coming in the whole time, just like, oh, dude, this is fucking good. I'm gonna watch more of this. So, good job, guys.
Good for them. All right. SmackDown. Or Raw, excuse me. This is pretty wild as well.
Okay.
325. This is the last time CM Punk has been featured in a segment at a promo.
Okay.
His segment added 500,000 viewers throughout his quarter hour. 1.79 million people watched Raw. 3-hour show. The next week, the lead up to WrestleMania, 1.784 million people watched it. Started off at 1.8, went up with the Rock segment he was on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Up to 2.18 million. And then at the end of the show, 3 hours, it went down to 1.76 million. Post WrestleMania.
Oh, dude.
2.362 million average viewers for a 3-hour program.
That is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, coming off of Sunday night, though, oh my God, dude.
And typically WrestleMania is the big debut show.
Oh, yeah. But, dude, that WrestleMania, that Sunday night was so fucking hot. Like, it was so hot. Raw was going to be big. That's a big number.
Huge. And that's cable, too. So,
you'll
see a difference with SmackDown.
Oh, I'm sure.
415, 1.807 million viewers average. Started off 1.83, jumped to 2.11, and then at the end of the show, 1.63 million. Okay. So you're gaining and then dropping because it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
Last week, 1.6 million.
Shit, dude, those could just be sleep timers for people's TVs. Fucking
11
turn
o'clock
off.
is late for some people.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
it's time to go to bed. Click.
Plus, you have playoffs going on right now too, hockey and basketball.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget baseball. Late night games on the West Coast.
Games, West Coast, yeah. Well, 1.6 million. Started off 1.77, dropped to 1.6 at the end of the show. So they're still holding.
Yeah.
SmackDown. This is absurd. Cable TV with Fox, right?
Yeah.
SmackDown's
yeah, this
Fox.
is Fox. SmackDown is on Fox.
Average views. This is 2-hour show, right? SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. I believe. You know what? I don't know. That might. Yeah, I think so. I think
it's 2 hours.
Yeah.
322, 2.235 million views.
Say that again. Say it again.
2.235 million average viewers. 329, 2.24, and it held throughout. Same. Nobody left. Nobody came. WrestleMania, the night before, 2.603 million people stayed for the whole show. Post WrestleMania, 2.49 million people. Started off at 2.66, dropped to 2.3 at the end. And they don't really, they have one segment and all the rest is just basic, nonsense wrestling. You have a bloodline segment and the rest.
Yeah.
Last week, 2.33 mil. Started off at 2.39, ended at 2.28.
Good for them.
Yeah, they're hot right now.
Yeah,
so,
they are.
The question with the streaming.
Yeah.
When WWE goes to Netflix in January, do we have break spots? Do we have commercial breaks during that show? Or is it a fluid show? You have a fluid show, nobody's going to turn away.
I'm guessing because Netflix is one of the things that I canceled a while ago. Just didn't feel like giving them my money anymore
$25
for at least a while. Yeah. But I'm guessing because they do have a new commercial model, right? Where like you have to pay more to not get ads.
I look at it as I want the best quality, so I would do the 4K.
Yeah.
And
okay. Well, and I think most
$25.
people do that. Yeah, I think most people do that. I mean, well, not most people. That's what I would do too. Again, I don't have it right now, but if when I renew it, when Raw is there, that is what I will do. I'm guessing that if they have a live format, because it's going to be live, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that the live version might have breaks. It might have breaks,
do a
kind of like
match,
what they
not
do on what they do with Peacock, where you get the produced. Yeah, you're not getting like local cable commercials and stuff, but you're getting like the branded content for that stream.
Slim Jim or whatever.
Yeah. So I think you're probably going to get that. I don't know how much of that would stay with like the stream version that you would watch. It might stay with it completely. It might always be like that. I don't know, but it won't be like watching it on. It won't be USA. Like watching it on USA where you're gonna get like, I wouldn't think. I don't know. It probably. I think it should feel more like a pay-per-view.
Right, where you're not going 20-minute promo into a match, 2 minutes break spot, continue the match. So if it is that
I don't know
formula, it would be better for the viewers in the crowd too.
Yes, but from a production standpoint, I don't know if they're going to be trying to make it feel like a TV show or if they're going to be trying to make it feel like an event. Like you know what I mean? Like, because WrestleMania is produced like an event, not like a TV show, right? Like. And Raw is produced like a TV show. So it would take turning Raw into more of an event feel than a TV show feel. And I think they've already been doing that. I think some of the things we've been talking about with the transitions and like the way they format, I mean, they can only do so much because they're still locked into the commercial every so often model and all of that. But I would think with Netflix, they'd be able to tune that in a little bit more. And yeah, probably more like what the Peacock feel, because I think that's the event, feel. You do get ads and, some of them, I mean, my son, my son the other day was singing the Wheatley, so good I drink it neatly. Like it's still in our heads from that show because they just played it so many times. I think that's what Netflix is going to feel like watching Raw. It's going to be just the ads that you get during that show. You're going to pay for ads for that show if you're an advertiser, and it'll be when they need to pull the mat and do a setup and stuff like that. Transitional moments.
I think that would make it a better product.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely.
I went to a Raw. It was Undertaker and Bray. So what's that? Probably WrestleMania 30. That was the last time I went, and it was god awful because there's no flow to that show. You just ugh.
Well, so I think they can produce. Okay, so look at it this way: the way UFC does an event, right? Like, and I think you can turn. And I mean, the pay-per-views for WWE have kind of felt like that, but they've been moving it more and more that direction the last couple of years. And WrestleMania, I think we were talking about how Saturday looked one way and Sunday looked a different way, and how that kind of represented that. I'm looking at that more accurately as a thing now, because with some of the other stuff they've done, they do make it more like some of the backstage stuff is going to feel more like a video game for entertainment purposes, right? Like the transitions, the fun interactions and stuff. It's going to feel like a cut scene where you're just kind of watching people interact or whatever. But the ads can just be so much more woven in, and you can have that feel that when you watch Raw every week, it's like watching Fight Night. It's like watching back in the day, if you used to watch Ultimate Fighter, right? Where you're going to get fights, you're going to get your event fights, and then you're going to get some of the other cool drama stuff worked around. You're going to, see the guys that are training more than the mid-card guys that aren't. They're learning and everybody knows it because we're all, you know what I mean? Like they can make it feel much more like a real life thing where you take out the element of it being scripted for the fan and you just move past that. And you make it feel more like the UFC and everything else because you have that capability. That was a bit off, but I think it's going to be fucking awesome. And I think they're going to swear, and I think there's going to be blood, and I think there probably won't be any titties, although I'm not convinced that there won't be titties because it's still Netflix and there are titties on Netflix. So
for the live crowd though, with children.
Yeah, fair enough. Win on that one. Yeah, you win on that one. But the cool thing is not everything has to be fucking live either. Like that's where it's gonna get weird is with a Netflix show, like are you doing everything live? Like is it gonna continue like everything is gonna be live? Like
I think it gives them a little bit more flexibility where if they have a big house show at Madison Square Garden, you film that and put it on Raw,
right?
Which would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot. You can do a lot of weird, different things, and I hope they have some creative people. But I always worry that when you go this direction, you still have a product that has been made to be a certain thing for like 3 generations of people.
Right.
So I mean, it has the potential to be like Disney taking over Star Wars. Like it really has the potential to be the downfall of what we know as of professional wrestling. But it also like we just going over those numbers. I mean, it's fucking hot right now, dude. Like, people are paying attention, and Netflix is going to do that even more, and it'll be wild. It'll be wild.
And if you cater to a more edgy storyline where there is blood, where there is swearing, I think your business is going to go up, because if you do it the right way, not saying blood every match or anything like that, it could be a very positive thing for hot angles and hot feuds.
Fuck yeah, dude. And so one of the things you can incorporate quite a bit is there's an extensive history with reality TV, right? Like, a lot of these people that are in the wrestling business are very open to being like reality TV actors, because they're acting anyway. That's what they're doing, to all intents and purposes. Like, you can really you can take some shit like far with that. You can do, and it can be scripted, but if people are watching, I mean, all reality TV is scripted, people. If you don't know that, I'm really sorry to burst your bubble, but all reality TV is scripted. So, I mean, you can, dude, the amount of entertainment that can come out of the talent that is under the WWE umbrella for Netflix, I just wonder how much they can actually do, because there's a lot of potential there. And I know this is what we wanted to do with that. We did this with the WWE Network. Well, the WWE Network was only catered to WWE fans. Only people that were paying for it were WWE fans. Netflix is a whole world of viewers that may or may not watch what you're offering, but it's going to be there for everybody to watch that's already watching Netflix. Like, the numbers are going to be fucking insane. Like, I think it's going to change the WWE model overnight.
And especially after we have our next lockdown.
Don't even, dude. We can't. I'm not doing that shit.
But let's stay with WWE.
Yes.
We have pay-per-view next week.
Yeah.
So this is going to be in France. So I believe it's at 1:00 Eastern time. It would be noon for you. Our main event is Cody versus AJ.
Oh, I am fucking in for that. Hell yeah, dude.
Champion Cody gets AJ to make him look like $1 billion.
Oh, and they've worked together. Oh,
Damian Priest putting his title on the line against main event Jay. The Yeet.
Okay, that's interesting. Obviously, he's not dropping it.
Hopefully not. Bailey versus Naomi versus Tiffy.
Nice. Okay. Naomi in there for a bit of a buffer. Dude.
Yeah.
Tiffy.
Yeah. The Tiffy Slippy. The Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They're going to do it.
Oh my. That'll be interesting.
They're going to do it. They're going to switch that. And then the other thing that is announced, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline, Solo and Tama Tonga.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Do you introduce Jacob Fatu here?
Yeah. But I mean, okay, first of all, Soto, I think we even discussed that in the fucking draft when I got on Soto for some reason. Solo, sorry, for some reason. But that's awesome. You introduce him there, and you got KO and Randy have a lot of chemistry right now. You know, they're in a good place working with each other. Like they've been having matches and everything else. So you get that good chemistry. Like that could be a very entertaining match. That could be a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's all that's announced. That's all
that's
announced.
That's a good show. That's a good show.
If they keep that show at 2.5 hours, it might be the greatest thing ever too.
It might. Like I think they're committed to that. Like I do. I think they're committed to that.
Yeah, I think we got to get away from these 5-hour shows.
The in between pay-per-views, like the God, really need to stop calling them pay-per-views. It's been many, many years, but I still haven't come up with a term for them that I actually like using.
Premium live event.
No. Okay. So
that's what they're called.
I know. And like I said, I don't like to say it. Fucking the smaller ones that they're doing more of like a traveling show with, dude, fucking smart shit. And it's keeping them shorter, like because I'm sure there's house shit, like you know that's not the show that the people in that stadium are getting. Like the people that come out to see that show in France are probably getting 5 hours worth of fucking matches.
Maybe not though.
I bet it has a real house feel to it.
They're doing SmackDown though, so maybe they will. I was thinking like the 5 matches, maybe just because, you know, they're bringing people over to France, save on travel, put them on one plane, but they are doing SmackDown from France too. So
yeah, I mean they get, like, you know, they're putting on a show for those people because that's it's an exposure you don't get, right? When you go to fucking Omaha, you're not like maybe you're not bringing in the best all the time to do the most for them. You're in and out. We want to get out of here as quickly as possible. We have to move on to Chicago. But when you're over in France, it's like, okay, let's pour it on for these people because we're not coming back for 2 more years.
Right. So it may be really good.
But I think it will. I think the card sounds great, and I'm in love with the 5 match. You know, get in, get out, really watch a high energy, fucking wire to wire, great matches. Boom, done, perfect, feel good.
I agree. So the next thing for AEW is Sunday, May 26th, Double or Nothing, MGM Grand Garden Arena in Vegas. So that's Memorial Day weekend. That is the Sunday night, I believe.
Okay.
I'm going to get you wet and excited here. Willow Nightingale, the AEW TBS Championship versus Mercedes Moné.
No, I'm sorry. Like, again, I and this is what hurts for Sasha, in my opinion. I've watched her at the peak. Like I watched her in the ring with the best women in the fucking business, period, end of sentence. And I have no interest in watching her people that can't fucking wrestle people that won't cut it in NXT.
Willow, I like Willow. She has a ton of charisma. I guess the story is she lost the New Japan title to Willow because she got hurt in their match. So that's how they're debuting her. Whatever.
Okay, fine. So maybe that was a bit insulting and cutting her down at the knees. But I'm just saying, like, it's not Charlotte. It's not Becky. It's not Bailey. It's not Bailey. Which right now, could you, like, if we're being completely honest, Bailey gets that run from WrestleMania. It would have been amazing to have a healthy Sasha come back and be like, bitch, I'm coming for that fucking belt.
Bailey Sasha at SummerSlam could have been awesome.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, I have no interest. She's not going to pull me to watch her wrestle over there because she's not wrestling the people that she should be fucking wrestling. And that's only because she's proven she's on that fucking level, and they don't have, again, no disrespect, they don't have what is over here. They just don't, period.
Right.
And they might have, again, like you talked about Jade, you know, Jade is a fucking specimen. And I hope that she is coachable and that she learns quick and that she turns into a shooting star. I want to see her at the top because she is just goddess level.
Mm-hmm.
But
when you see her, you're like, Jesus, that is a star.
God. But again, to go all the way back to the development thing, not ready at all. That's fine. They can get her ready, but it's a talent that has a green talent that you have to train, and you probably should have been getting somebody that was polished up a little bit. But she's the best they had to offer. It's the best that WWE could take from them. And I wouldn't even want to see her in the ring with Sasha right now because I don't think she would be she's not ready for Sasha. So
right.
Why would I want to watch Sasha Mercedes bring herself down to a lower level when I want to be watching her elevate with an entire division? You're not getting it from me. And anyone else that is over there right now, in all honesty, none of them are drawing me away because I either think that they should be in WWE or they weren't good enough or I hated them in WWE and then which is why most people did and they're over there. I mean, Moxley okay.
No, go in because I
think
no. This is a great debate.
No, there's no debate. There's no debate. He didn't belong. He barely belonged in the Shield. Barely belonged in the Shield. And the only thing that got him over with the Shield was that he was the wild card, right? He was the crazy guy in the Shield because Roman was the very stoic, big, I'm the muscle, I'm the tank. Fine, fits him perfectly. Seth was the talent, the worker, the talent, and he was the crazy, right? And it
well, he was the promo. That's why he fit in there, but he wasn't good.
He was up until Seth became the promo, because Seth became the promo pretty quick. Seth was a better promo cutter and still is to this day. But anyway, he and then when he went solo with that fucking routine, oh my god, dude.
Terrible. With the gas mask.
The matches that they tried to put together, like the gimmick matches that they tried to put together, and you're in the middle of the PG era, you can't do anything. There's nothing threatening. There's no stakes. You're in the MCU era of WWE where nobody gets hurt, nobody dies. Like there's no not that. Anyway, awful. And he was like, to me, he's like the definition of like the old school guy who thinks he's still cool because he acts like he is the tough, I'm on the road, I drink, I talk shit to women, and I'm kind of dirty and gross. I'm the cool old school guy. And it's like, I'm not buying it. Like I buy more that Seth Rollins wears fucking crazy outfits and walks around like fucking Jim Morrison all the time. I believe that more, which by the way, I don't believe that at all. Like, but because him and Becky are probably the most proper, boring people in the entire world. They probably get off playing Scrabble. Like they are awesome. I love them, but I guarantee you they are the most normal people when they are behind closed doors, and it's awesome. I hope they're amazing. Love them. What's up, buddy?
I can't tell you where my mind was going right there.
Okay. Anyway, Moxley would never get me to turn the fucking channel. The only person who ever would on that roster right now is Okada, and I don't.
He's in the Bucks vortex, so who cares?
Well, and he's not exactly a spring chicken either.
Right.
Like, you know, he and I again watched him in Japan. Like I've seen the Okada Omega. Like I've seen it. And it was when they were good. You show it to me now and I'm like, oh, like it's the same people that want to see Undertaker wrestle at WrestleMania again or something, or that want to see Stone Cold come back for one more match. It's like, dude, guys, like, come on,
let him go.
Like, let it go.
All right, here's the match that's really going to draw you into this pay-per-view.
Okay,
Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay.
Oh, I kind of like that actually.
Swerve is going to.
I always liked Roderick.
Yeah, he's great. He's just small. That's it.
Yeah.
Swerve will be defending, and then this week I believe they're going to announce Kenny's coming back. So at least they'll get a star back.
It'd be great if the Bucks could, like, if they have any long-term booking capability, and I don't mean long-term as in like, Roman Reigns finally getting to pay off the betrayal of Seth Rollins by hitting him with the chair while he's in not that long-term of booking, but
10 years.
Yeah, if they could pull off like, 6 months booking and they can swallow their pride a little bit, it'd be kind of cool to see Kenny come out and like kind of tell them to get the fuck off his show. Like to come out with Pimp Hand Strong and see Kenny come out there and pull a tribal chief and say, I'm taking over and we're gonna, but I don't necessarily think that that's something that's going to happen.
He's probably more likely to come out with a Japanese sex doll and say, let's play.
I thought that is not, dude, we are not on the same page at all tonight. That is not where I was going with that. I mean, okay. I thought he could kind of come out like like Randy Orton 5 years ago and just be like, I'm here to get my paycheck and I don't really give a fuck. So Randy's not like that anymore, which I love. But
I guess Kenny streams maybe on Twitch or something. But they did an interview and they asked him about the brawl. And he said, like, he was able to talk to Punk that night and they hashed it out. He said sometimes in order to gain one's respect, you have to throw fists. And, it sounded like Kenny was, like, willing to do a match with Punk. But then on the other side, you have the Bucks that are like,
Well, I mean, it all worked out for the best. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, in my opinion, CM Punk needed to come back. And yeah. I just said that like I'm a WWE man, which, by the way, I totally am. I respect other organizations. I fucking rep them. I love them. I'm not. But if you consider yourself a professional wrestling fan, like a legit one who cares about all the professional, like WWE is at the top. We read the fucking numbers and it's not even fucking close. Yeah, it's not even fucking close. So you have to acknowledge that and just move on. Okay. What the fuck was I talking about?
Kenny.
Oh yeah. CM Punk had to come back. He had to go back. He had to be back in WWE. And once he figured that part out, and by the way, CM Punk got his ass kicked on live TV twice. Like, in the first time he got his ass kicked on live TV, like legitimately, by the way. I mean, like, the first time it was like a huge thing. Like when he went to the UFC, it was a big deal for people that he was going to fight in the UFC. And a lot of people watched that fucking fight. And a lot of people wanted him to get his ass beat. But he did. And he did it again.
And then
that dude, yeah. That dude was a millionaire. Like, he didn't need to do that. He was old. He wasn't in a position to think that he should be in there competing, but he was in a position where he had enough pull in the world to get people to believe that he could, and he got himself on TV to do it. So he had an opportunity to do something he thought he was capable of that the world would have told him no if he wasn't who he was. He went and did it, and he got fucking humbled. Period. He was somewhere he didn't deserve to be, and he got the shit kicked out of him for it, and he got fucking humbled. And I I just see it now. Like he's a different entertainer overall. So because of that, I really wanted him to be able to be back at WWE and get that love and be able to be genuine because he's a humbled man now. Love that shit. Love that he gets that.
It's almost like he's come on the other side and he's a better person for it.
100%. And anybody would be, dude. Like you have to humble yourself sometimes. But the people that get humbled are people that are reaching, right? Like you're already built up something and you're reaching a little too far. And you get fucking humbled. But you learn. And that's what makes you a better person overall in small and big ways. So I'm happy he's back. I love that he's getting the publicity he's getting. And I think that Kenny is I don't want to lump Kenny in with the Bucks just because he's part of it. Right? Like he's been at the top of the mountain. He's seen greatness, like legitimate greatness. He's seen it. And I mean, this situation may have been humbling for him, thinking we're on top of the world. We're going out on our own. We're doing all this. And I mean, he's got to be seeing what's going on. He has to know what's happening. He's not just a talent, he's more than that to them. I don't know. I hope I would love to see. I'm going to be honest, and this is going to completely go against everything I just talked about with the people with the Stone Cold shit. But I just like with Sting, I would love to see fucking Kenny Omega as Kenny Omega wearing a fucking Kenny Omega shirt, come in and fucking wrestle Cody at fucking WrestleMania or something like that. That'd be, or even AJ or Finn, just anybody that there's that connection with. Like, let's just fucking, and it would blow the fucking house, man. It would destroy it because wrestling fans care, and Kenny was at a level where he made them care. The only people that care about the Bucks are unhappy fucking just, especially after this incident. If you still support the Young Bucks as like, this is what wrestling should be,
blow me.
Yeah. Goodbye.
So the only thing that I have now to say, close this show.
Oh.
We just talked about CM Punk. So let's take it back to Mr. Electricity Tony Khan. He just got punched and assaulted by the Young Bucks. Are they going to get fired because he's feared for his life now?
No, he's not. No, they're going to be best friends.
Well, we will be back next week. We will do Backlash, I believe it's called.
Okay.
And,
I like it.
You're happy?
Dude, I'm fucking great, bro. I am fucking great. Thanks for talking to me. Dude, this is our 14th episode?
It's wild, isn't it?
The first one we did of these was 10 episodes ago. They had 10 fucking weeks. When we first talked about this shit, like, I was so in, but I was like, yeah, we'll see, whatever. 14 episodes, dude. And I can't wait. Like, I'd be doing more if we had the fucking time. Like, I'd like, it's fucking amazing. But yeah, it's fucking great, dude.
I'm happy that you're happy, and we're all going to be happy when the Young Bucks leave. Now we're happy.
Yeah, there you go. All right, later.